It's 10 a.m. Try to butcher a lot of the product in-house before a lot of the staff gets in. Once they get here, it starts to be a little bit more chaotic, so I like to have a little bit of quiet time before they arrive. We use here Mise because it's really, really fatty. We're gonna separate the top and bottom loin. This dish has been on for about a year now. It's one of those dishes that it's hard to take off because people are excited to see it. You know, we break it down, we freeze it. Right before service, we shave it very thinly on a meat slicer, and to create these very fine curls that we then freeze into liquid nitrogen. And the liquid nitrogen is meant to just hold those curls. It would be too easy just to slice this and put it on the plate. We have to be a little bit more creative than that. I don't owe anybody anything. I owe it to myself to be that way. Like I always say, you owe it to yourself to be great at something. No one's gonna push you to do that other than yourself. That's the way I approach food. If I could sit and, like I said, just serve sashimi style slices all day long, that's easy, but that's not really challenging for me to do that. So at this point, we would cut it to a place where it's manageable for us, and we would freeze this. And once it's frozen, we do that a day in advance, so we ensure that it's nice and frozen. Day of, we'll take it out and slice it like so. When we slice this, we let it really take an organic shape. We're not trying to force anything, so you would see pieces like this, elegantly plated. We try to do this as close to service as possible. Like, we're not slicing this at 10 in the morning. We're doing this closer to like 5 p.m. when we open the doors. Minu's been doing this, 15, 20 minutes now to get all this. By the time it's presented to the guest, it comes out of the nitrogen onto the plate. And there's an experience behind that process. When the guest first gets it, it's frozen.
So the base of this dish is built, and then the final touch is putting the frozen hamachi curls straight from the liquid nitrogen.
Through the time they start eating it to the time that they're finished, it changes. It thaws out, it becomes a normal piece of sashimi, if you will. For me, it's got to be familiar to the guest. We can't be so far out of the box that they're not understanding what they're eating, but it's also our responsibility to give them something that's different and unique within that dish as well. And that could be from a textural moment. The first step is leading the guests down this hallway. It's very cave-like, it's very cold, it's echoey, and it's meant for that purpose. This room was meant to have that first pause moment when the guests would kind of get here, enjoy a bite that would be hanging from the ceiling or on the shelf here. The idea is to really just capture your 2.5 hour experience here and just let us do what we do. You don't have to worry about anything, just let us pamper you and take care of you, and this is what the space was built for.
So we got some of the first of the season sweet corn coming in from Southern Illinois.
So now we've got the team starting to arrive for the evening.
We kind of get everyone together just to get it all shucked and out of the cobs, so we can get it processed later. So just more efficient. Everyone kind of knocks it out as a team right now.
We utilize corn for our canopy dish. Essentially, you get 3 different bites. Obviously, the Midwest is known for corn, so why not start with one of the best products that it can produce?
Anytime we put a dish on the menu, we try to explore as many different ideas as we can, utilizing that single ingredient, especially when it comes to vegetables, where there's multiple pieces of the vegetable that can be used. We try to utilize that in its full entirety. So the corn you'll see in 3 or 4 different varieties, and it's always changing. It could be something different tomorrow than it is today.
We took all the corn that we shucked earlier, we take all the kernels off, run them through just a juicer. We take all that juice and then cook it in a pot until it becomes nice and thick. So that's what this mixture is here, just like a corn soup essentially. We poured into the molds here. So this is one of 3 corn bites you get in the first canopy. And then this just simply goes on here, and then these will go into the freezer. Typically try to be a day ahead on these, just so they have enough time to set up. So here we have some of the corn balls that have already frozen here. And then from here is where we'll pin them. And just go for a quick dip in the white chocolate and cocoa butter solution here. This just has a little bit of charcoal powder in it, just for the color, just make it a little bit more interesting. This dish still being fairly new, it's important for me to get my hands on this process at this point. we have to kind of figure out all these things beforehand before I to give this to someone under me so that I can show them all these nuances. If I were just to give this project to somebody and said make corn balls dipped in white chocolate and cocoa butter, they might come back looking very different from the perfected item that we're trying to execute here. Chef Richie's working on some of the baby corn. We wanted to be able to keep the baby corn in the husk and kind of use the husk as a handle.
Again, something that seems very simple as, say, just whatever, grill baby corn. There's so many steps that go into it. We like to go through and kind of trial and error the best ways to do everything. And then once we figure that out, then we'll pick the person that the course is going to and then slowly show them.
Something that's always important to me is giving the guests something that's very familiar. And obviously corn is very familiar, but it's our challenge and our responsibility is to give them something new and unique.
So just below the hay, we put a little bit of dry ice. And then we have a hot tea here made from all the corn cob scraps. When all the bites are on there and the canopy is ready to walk, we'll pull the hot corn stock over the plate, and that dry ice will release a little bit of aroma. So you'll get aromas from the hay and from corn to kind of welcome you into the dining room.
We don't want to be taken too seriously either, so fun little bites in the beginning should be fun.
It's as corny as it can get.
The first dish that you see, which is corn, it sets the tone for the night. It's engaging, it's interactive. That's what we are.
Produce! Produce! So we just got all the produce in. The big rule of the house here is any fruit or anything that comes in with stickers, all those get removed and peeled off. So you see how they get all the stickers off the fruit, and then it's able to go into the cooler. It's like most restaurants have like walk-in coolers and stuff like that, but here we just have the cooler. It's a reach-in. So we have to very precisely get all of our produce to fit into these two little areas right here. Yeah, so this is Chef's Garden, located in Ohio. They grow a lot of petite microgreens and stuff for our garnishes. We get this delivery 2 times a week, very expensive. We bought Farmer Lee a couple of Lamborghinis at this point.
It's like almost $50 for each.
Yeah, each one of these little packs of 50 count. Everything's hand-picked and little perfect ploushes of everything. Every dish on the menu probably has something that's in this box.
A lot of people just kind of dismiss the garnish. They're like, oh, it's just green. And, we don't just put things on there just to put them on there.
This is sous chef Richie Farina here. He's helping Jack out with breaking down the rabbits. All the rabbits you see here, this will be about a week's worth.
I also kind of like to try to time myself per rabbit to see how fast I can get each one done, but still have the same, obviously, end goal of not destroying it. Oh my God, you're actually busting out a timer? All right.
You ready, Rich?
Sure.
All right, knife in hand. Start.
Oh God. Getting stuck on the bone there, that's always good. Everyone's watching, lots of pressure, don't mess it up, all those good things. All right, go. Now do a minute party.
Kind of just following the philosophy of the restaurant, we'll take every bit of the rabbit here and utilize it. Take the legs, they're pounded out and rolled into little torchons essentially. Those will be sous vide and then roasted whole. This all comes together into a very small, petite dish.
We have a lot of people will come in and say, I don't like peas, I don't like beets, I don't like asparagus. And the beauty of it is we're able to change the way people think about it. Yeah, you probably don't like beets because you had beets as a kid, they were forced upon you, they were coming from a can, they were pickled, but when it's done roasted and done beautifully and served properly, it's enjoyable. And same thing with rabbit.
This is our sous chef, Tyler. We got some beautiful lamb here coming from Elysian Fields out in Virginia. He's just gonna start to kind of process it and get it to where we need to be.
So here I'm removing the tenderloins. These will get cleaned up. We'll then both grill as well as roast them for sauce. Next up, I'm removing the bellies. We'll trim these up really fine, and then we'll cure these, smoke them, poach them, and then cook them into little bacon lardons.
Every dish that we conceive, it starts with ideas written down, and then it's sourced product, create the dish that we see on paper that we envisioned in the beginning. And it could be right on, it could be not, and most of the time it's not.
So then here's the main loin part of the saddle. We're gonna trace along these short ribs here. Once these have been removed, we like to let them rest for a day so that the muscle relaxes. And then we'll clean them up, taking off all of the silver skin and fat.
The way we handle things, maybe the lamb loin was meant to be fully clean, but then as we started to break it down, we said, okay, well, the fat cap on it is thin enough and we can get it thin enough, let's roll it in its own fat and roast it that way.
So this will then be dusted in a coffee rub and then roasted in its own fat gently.
Then it's just about eating the dish over and over until you're happy with it, because, you know, not from an ego standpoint, but I cook for myself only, first and foremost. If I'm happy with the dish, I'm not really concerned what anybody else thinks about it. And that's just the confidence that I have in my style of cooking for so many years, that if I'm not happy with it, I certainly wouldn't serve it. So it has to get to a point where I'm happy with it.
All right, so this is Roderick and Brian. They work at a Rare Tea Cellar here. We do order some very specific things from them, but they're always kind of bringing in new stuff for us to kind of check out and keep our ear to the ground of what's going on in the world. A lot of times we're just kind of executing the menu here and just kind of keeping up with day-to-day service. And it really helps out for, for these guys to bring by new stuff to kind of get the wheels turning and, get us thinking about what's going to be next. The last of the Australians.
That's the Australian.
Wow. Yeah, these are great.
For me, every time truffles come around, that's what I want to reach for. And these truffles are coming from Australia right now. They're the winter truffles.
We got a black truffle risotto right now with maitakes and the Parmesan tuile that kind of goes over top.
We decided this time, let's do something different other than just a truffled risotto.
It's about 2:30 right now. Prep's in full swing. A lot of projects starting to come to fruition. We act as a silent kitchen even through prep. So any loud machinery, juicers, blenders or anything, we keep behind this door to kind of keep that noise and vibration out of the kitchen so everyone can continue to focus on what they're doing. It's very much chef's mentality. He prefers silence. Any noise that would typically be in a kitchen is not here. It's not the place. Anytime we close a door, anytime you put a pan on the stove, everything is done with a finesseful and purposeful way. Chef Beto here will take the Parmesan, it's frozen in liquid nitrogen here. He'll take that and put it into a Vitamix blender here, blend it to a powder. And you can kind of see in here, it becomes just a super fine powder. It's like almost what you would get in a Parmesan shaker. And then he's gonna tap it out over this mold here, and that'll give us a nice shape of the Parmesan when we go to bake it so that it fits the bowl properly.
We try to create something that's very classic in terms of flavor profile, but in a unique way. So the Parmesan is turned into a crispy shell that is something that you will break through, but it's covered in truffles, so you don't really see it. You're forced to kind of dig and explore. With most of our dishes, I try to pinpoint 3 or 4 ingredients and leave it at that. A rule of thumb for me is kind of let them explore on their own with the dishes. If they want more information, they're gonna ask. Just say black truffle and risotto and walk away. Because you see all kinds of stuff. You see them try to lift up what's underneath it, what are they doing? There's no right or wrong way of eating that dish. It's just, as long as you're having fun and enjoying it, that's all that matters.
Yep. So at 3:15, we'll call 5 minutes. The whole kitchen will stop what they're doing, put everything away, and then scrub the kitchen top to bottom.
5 minutes?
5! These are silicon mats that we put down on top of the Taj Mahal quartz, just to eliminate a lot of the noise and stuff from the china going on to the pass, as well as insulating the plates. There's no heat lamps or anything here, so when we put a hot plate up, if we were to put that right onto the quartz would just suck all the heat out of the plate.
It's about 4:30 right now. Doing a lot of final steps to tonight's dinner service. First reservation's at 5 o'clock, so we're about a half hour away. Everybody's honed in, just running. This is kind of like their sprint moment, which it's good. It's a good feeling. It gives a good energy going into service.
Doors! Doors!
The way I run my kitchen is very quiet. We have an expediter that really runs the entire kitchen during service, meaning he gets the information from the front staff. The ticket is turned in, say table 21. 2 people, he'll call out, order for 2. The entire team will call that back as well.
Pick up 3 lamb.
Very minimal communication, talking in the kitchen is needed beyond that.
Order in 2. Pick up 2 canopy. Pick up 2 tomato. Pick up 2 caviar.
I never thought in a million years that I would receive Michelin stars and all these other awards that we've achieved. But again, I never set out to do it for those. That's just somebody saying, hey, you're doing something extraordinary.
Pick up 2 tinies. So Chef Lucas right now is we're actually making a plate for our final bite, the tiny of the evening. So essentially we take beeswax, melt it down, and then really just pour it over ice. You see kind of gets his fingers nice and cold and then lets it organically form a new shape.
I could easily just not do this and open a very less demanding restaurant, very casual restaurant, and be successful and not have to probably work as hard. Would that be satisfying for me? Absolutely not.